1045 The Team and 1045theteam.com. On the phone right now, we have Eric McDowell, the Assistant Athletic Director at Union College. And Eric, when we go to you, we usually talk hockey. We're talking baseball. But today you come to us with an interesting perspective on Pat Summitt, the legendary women's basketball coach, longtime coach at Tennessee, who unfortunately passed away yesterday. You had some run-ins with her, some experiences with her that you wanted to share.
Well, I thought it's good if folks can hear some stories about, like we saw Mary Ellen Britt with the TU talking about her experience as a player and coach. And with my involvement with our national organization, COSIDA, we were very fortunate a couple times. In 2004 in Rochester, despite inclement weather, she made an appearance at a basketball tournament and did charity work up there. And we got to visit with her at a suite, Brady, where certain people were able to meet and greet her. Of course, there weren't selfies then, which is a good thing, but there was a photographer. But the best part was just a brief visit with her to talk about Debbie Jennings, her longtime colleague, SID, who we know at Tennessee. And I looked at her and I just said, we appreciate you coming to this with the weather and visiting with the kids, but most importantly, we appreciate what you do for college athletics. And what's remarkable is, without hesitation, she said, well, I appreciate what you do for college athletics. And, I mean, you think about that, Brady, and I know what she's saying is our profession, sports information directors, work tirelessly for the student-athletes. And for her to say that, it showed respect to our profession. And that was what she's all about, respect to people. For her to put the time in, to take the time through the weather to visit with those children, to visit with sponsors. And then in 2007, we were in San Diego when she received the Dick Enberg Award from COSIDA. And Dick is our spokesperson for the Academic All-America program. And we had to get a private reception with people, and she stayed the entire time, took photos, visited with people, and I talked to her again about Debbie, and just a wonderful person. I mean, you think about the names that we've lost over the last month between Muhammad Ali and Gordie Howe and now Pat Summitt. And I was fortunate to meet Gordie Howe when I was 20 years old when he was with the Whalers. But Pat Summitt looks you in the eye. She would show that you were the most important person in the world when you would talk to her. And whether it was an 8-year-old or an 80-year-old, it's amazing. And what she did for women's basketball, we know that story, Brady. But what she did for the young kids, for handicap, for so many people who face challenges and people who suddenly had light in their life and in their heart because of just having her talk to them. To me, that's a very rare person, not just in sports, but a rare person in general.
Pat Summitt, certainly a pioneer on the court, but also off the court, a pioneer for women's athletics as a whole. And Eric, as the Assistant Athletic Director at Union, your women's athletic program continuing to grow stronger and stronger. I have to tell you, I interviewed Josh Skiba, your new women's hockey coach, a few weeks ago. Very, very impressed with that hire. He really seems like he's going to be able to turn that thing around up there.
No question. He talks about culture and energy, and we don't care about the streak. We're 0-0 right now, and that's the way to look at it. He's got two good young assistants that he just brought in. Josh from day one with our press conference and then all the interviews. We appreciate your time with him, the other folks and the TVs and the newspapers, and he was amazed at this media market, and we said we're very blessed that we have you folks to cover the program. But his energy, his enthusiasm, I would love to have my daughter Sarah be, instead of 5, being 17 and a hockey player, Brady, because if he came into my living room, I would sign anything that he throws in front of me. He is just so enthusiastic and so excited, and the culture that he's going to bring from his experience and his attitude, professionalism, we're extremely anxious about the future of that program with his direction.
You talk about culture, and it is a culture of winning and success at Union across the board, and that extends to Coach Mound's baseball program as well this year. Not only did the Dutchmen get to the NCAA tournament for the second time in 3 years, but you guys had your first player drafted in program history in Jake Fishman, the junior lefty who has signed a professional contract with the Toronto Blue Jays. Eric, I know you guys are disappointed he won't be back on the mound in his, what's supposed to be his senior year next year, but this is a huge thing for Union.
Well, it is. I mean, baseball's been here since 1860, and there have been some players drafted. There's been players in the minor leagues in the past. George Haas in the 40s, who had his career come to an end. He was in the Pirates farm system when he ran into a wall, a la Bobby Valentine, if you will, if you remember, with the Dodgers. But Jake Fishman led the country in ERA, all NCAA divisions, best of any starter in the majors. We'd like to throw that one out, too. I know it's less innings, but the point is he made an incredible impact also in the classroom with over a 3.0 GPA. And when people look and say, oh, he signed, he's giving up his senior year, not so. And in fact, the Blue Jays made academic history with the MLB because they talked to him and Coach Paul Mound and his family, and the Blue Jays are going to pay off his education with 3 semesters all in the fall. So starting this September, he'll be back on campus. We hope you'll be able to come see him. And then the following semester, he'll have in the following fall of 17 and then also the fall of 18. So his 3 semesters will be paid directly by the Blue Jays, and they've never done a trimester format to pay off. So we know the odds are tough, but nonetheless, the fact that he'll have his union degree is important. And in talking to Paul Mound, if he does make it, I think we envision him as like a Tony Fawcett, a lefty specialist, if you will, that could pitch 4 or 5 times a week, one batter, one inning. He could come in and get a big poppy out or somebody similar to that, a left-handed hitter. That appears to be his future, and that they may mold him into a reliever. But there's a long way to go. He is currently in Florida at Dunedin training with the other 39 draft picks, the other 5 lefty pitchers, and he will likely be sent to the Appalachian League, the Rookie League in Virginia, to Bluefield. That's where we expect he'll be beginning his pro career.
Well, great stuff out of Union College, the baseball program. Jake Fishman, the lefty with the quirky delivery, who's in the upper 80s, soon will be in the low 90s, and again, may see his future as a reliever. But Eric McDowell, Assistant Athletic Director at Union, lots of good things going on campus out in Schenectady, and we do appreciate your perspective on something that's not so, not such a happy outlook with the passing of Pat Summitt. We're happy you were able to spin it into a positive for us. Eric, thanks for the time.
Thank you very much, Brady, for all you do.